Hello, my name's John Fulton. I'm here today with Nate Douridas, who works at the Molly Cairn Ag Center and is the farm manager. And we're going to talk a little bit about a project from 2019 that dealt with pea placement and timing. If you got follow-up questions for us, you can contact us at the emails here on the screen. The pages in the 2019 eFields report are specifically pages 64 through 65. You can learn more about this study. Kind of just a context of why we're interested in doing this study. We're real interested not only from a timing perspective, but actually placement, specifically subsurface placement, was conducted in this study. But when we consider some of the rainfall events and the timing of those events, in particular in the spring, having fewer days available for field work, and the concern about phosphorus loss and nitrogen loss from our production fields, we're just trying to understand where some of the value is when we look at some of the options when we get out and place phosphorus and nitrogen. Again, you can look at and learn more about this study, including planting date, harvest date, and some of the other metadata. In particular, I encourage you to take a look at the weather information as well. 2019 was unique, and you'll see that in some of the results here.
Yeah, and as John mentioned, we wanted to take this opportunity to look at the different types of equipment and technology that we have available to us today, and how that ties together with the way we can manage phosphorus and make those applications. Phosphorus is one of our most important nutrients. It's got a lot of focus right now. So, a few different strategies that we pulled together. We put together a pretty good project, so not only can we evaluate, but we can also begin to demonstrate some of the things that we're capable of doing today. So I'll give you some background of where we did this in Madison County here at the Molly Cairn Ag Center. We chose a field that definitely has some ranges in the distribution of the soil test phosphorus levels, and you can see that there on the left side. Really big ranges in some cases. We picked an area where we focused on the north half of that field, and if you look at that compared to the right side, that right side is kind of our soil test level chart where we're trying to manage our phosphorus levels without getting too far one way or another. So this field, especially the area that we studied, is going to fall all between that 40 and 80, which is kind of right in the middle there, where we know we're going to have to make regular phosphorus applications, some cases on a two-year strategy, because the system is going to continually be pulling phosphorus out with crop removal and a corn soybean rotation. So we know we're going to have to be putting it in. So that's why we selected the field that we did. So on the equipment and technology side, this project, while we focused on growing season 2019, started with a strip till application in the fall of 18. And we used an Orthman strip till toolbar with dry fertilizer capability. That's a shank style strip till applicator. So we're able to go into that future cropping zone, that rooting zone, 6-8 inches deep, and get that application banded every 30 inches, placed under the soil surface, and create a nice strip for planting the next year. That entire field was strip tilled. So some of the applications had phosphorus applied with it that fall, and others were strip tilled with no nutrients, so that the tillage application was consistent from fall to spring. All the treatments would then be planted on strip till. So when you transition a little bit into the spring side of things, we're able to use our current planter and fertilizer technology, which allows us to create prescriptions taken to the field on a liquid side with 1034 for our phosphorus source there. That planter attachment then will band it on either side of the row in a 2x2x2, if you will. That way we're able to get it placed under the surface and along both sides of the row, and then that'll carry us into the growing season. Here you've got the list of treatments that we applied. So we went down through this list and used what our those real world applications. Some of them we've been practicing in the past and have transitioned to on our operation. Others are still very popular today in the rest of the production world. So as you look through those, you'll see how we had a control in there which had no phosphorus application. We've got the fall subsurface strip till band of a 2-year crop removal. Again, going in that fall to put down our phosphorus needs for the next 2 years, corn and soybeans in a normal rotation. We also then did the same thing with an additional amount of phosphorus for that upcoming corn year. That 75 pounds kind of mimics what a 10-gallon of 1034-0 would be in a spring for somebody that has that program or has used it in the past. Moving down through there, spring planter, we know that there's challenges when we transition to liquid for a phosphorus source, mostly on how much capacity we have, how much volume it would take to match that dry fertilizer application. So that's why we chose a one-year application in the form of 1034-0. Those rates were very doable on the planter. And then, you know, we've got some other ones there. The spring planter application, followed by a split application, you'll see there towards the bottom. So again, real world applications. I think a lot of us would be very familiar with one or more of those. This is what it looks like when you take that field history map from a soil phosphorus test. You put together the treatments and the equipment. This is what it's going to look like. So on the left side, this was our fall of 2018 strip till application. You can see where we've got zones where we knew we didn't need to put phosphorus, so we didn't. And then the other ones ranged in that 2-year maintenance range, somewhere around 200 pounds of that MAP product in the fall. Some of them with the 200 plus additional. That set the program up for the spring. And again, keep in mind, the entire field was strip tilled. This is what you're seeing where nutrients were applied. On the right side, you see what we did in the spring. We were able to go in and record all those treatments with a name so we could record them in season, take that to the field. You'll see where the 1034-0 applications were recorded, and you know, that's where we can capture our spring application.
And in conjunction with this, what we did at the V5 stage, went out within all these treatments and essentially harvested full plant, and those full corn plants were then dried and sent to the lab for analysis to understand what the phosphorus and other nutrient uptakes. Today we're going to, for this study and this discussion today, we're going to focus primarily on the P uptake. But at V5, we harvested full plants per treatment, sent those off, and provided the analysis that you'll see here in our results. In terms of results, starting on the left side, we have each of the treatments that Nate just discussed down the left. We've kind of got the no application, fall application, subsurface, and then at the bottom we're either fall or planter only. For 2019 growing seasons, we did see a significant difference in P uptake and dry matter for plants for those that received a spring planter application of 1034-0. You see in the dry matter that somewhere around the 3 to 3.2 grams of dry matter at that V5 stage versus somewhere in the lower 2.3 to 2.4. We had more moisture in those plants, indicating more activity at that junction at V5. In particular, what we were looking at as far as phosphorus uptake at pounds per acre at the V5. Again, those planter placed 1034-0 showed a significant trend in having more P uptake at V5. Nate, you want to talk a little bit about the yield?
Yeah, just again, as some background here, this field going into a normal growing season with adequate normal rainfall patterns, it should have been a benchmark of a 200 bushel a field. And you can see we pulled back from that, not only from a planting date perspective, but also from a moisture range. This field in its main season really only accumulated about 12 inches of rainfall. On the moisture side, I think that tells a story. A June planting date and we had these relatively manageable moisture numbers. So rainfall was limited. We really pushed the crop, and something to take away there. And I like the fact where John highlighted what we've seen in the dry matter side of things. So we know there's some responses there. How can we take that and move forward and use that to build some resilience into our crop production practices and carry us moving forward?
So in summary, there was no significant difference in corn yield for 2019 for this study. We understood too that P was not a limiting factor, but there was a significant response to starter fertilizer, as we mentioned, and that was really in the P uptake and the dry matter. We plan to continue this into the 2020 in soybeans, and as Nate explores some opportunities here, we hope to learn more and continue on and have more to present and, to everyone in the future here. So thanks for listening.
Thank you.